Welcome back to Beyond the Record for your weekly update in all things music and culture. It's your girl, Autumn Rain. So to start off, I have to talk about Cardi B's Imaginary Playerz. So as you guys know, she has a new album that's coming out on September 22nd, Am I the Drama? And she interlopes Jay-Z's Imaginary Playerz. There has been a little bit of opinions based on her new release. I think she did a great job. I think that it takes a couple of listens. At least it took a couple listens for me because I'm just so accustomed to the original by Jay-Z and I love that song. So it was like definitely different, but I think that she gets across in all her bars very braggadocious, very much that girl type of energy. So that I feel like is going to be kind of a theme for this project after previously releasing the song Outside. So that's the vibe so far that I'm getting from this album that's yet to be released. So let me know what you guys think of Cardi B's Imaginary Playerz, and are you guys up to listening to her new album that's going to be dropping next month? So speaking of Jay-Z, there's some rumors that Jay-Z also has music on the way. So Memphis Bleak, who's a longtime collaborator and friend of Jay, spoke on Drink Champs this week, talking that he has new music on the way. Also, I've seen just chatter on X, across all social medias, honestly. And personally, I would love another Jay-Z album. I've been secretly begging for one since 444 was released in 2017. I absolutely adore that album. It's a good Sunday album for me. I love putting that on, cleaning, just getting set for the week. So I would definitely say I would love a new Jay-Z album. It's been a minute since we've heard from him. He did a feature, I believe, 2 years ago for DJ Khaled's album. But other than that, it's been kind of cricket. I think with Clips getting so much love as an older rapper duo, it is making a space for these legendary rappers to come and put out music that the public is responding to. I love Let God Sort Him Out, one of my favorite rap albums so far this year, as has been a lot of people, so it's not unpopular opinion, but I think it's just making space for older rappers, senior veterans of this music industry to come out with new music and honestly possibly get some new fans. So I am 100% for Jay-Z dropping. Would love to hear it. He also was on he had some surprise guest appearances on Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour in Paris, so as well as London. So I think that if obviously from the videos that I've seen, a lot of people are still very much so into his music, even if they're older songs. So I think that people would just be excited for a new album from him. So I'm excited to see where this leads. So speaking of albums, Taylor Swift has announced a new album. She's going to be releasing her 12th studio album, Life of a Showgirl, out on October 3rd. And she made this announcement on none other than her boyfriend's podcast, Travis Kelce from the Kansas City Chiefs, New Heights podcast that he co-hosts with his brother, Jason Kelce, who's a retired Philadelphia Eagles center. So on the episode, she shared the cover art, which just features her in a very sparkly swimsuit in water. Majority of her body is in water. Then she also has some alternate cover art that she's been sharing across the social media. If you guys haven't checked that out yet, there's going to be 12 songs, and we already got the show titles for that already got the track list, and there's only one feature, which is going to be Sabrina Carpenter, which is also a rising pop girly, and they, I feel like, would mesh so well together. Sabrina also opened for her during Taylor Swift's Eras tour. So they already have seemingly a good bond and a great working relationship, even if that doesn't go outside of the studio. And for this album, she's been working with producers Max Martin and Shellback, which have produced several top pop hits in the last decade or so. So she's going to be in good hands. And I'm honestly really excited from seeing that interview with Travis Kelce. Slowly, she's turning me into a Swiftie. Who would have known? So again, Life of a Showgirl will be out on October 3rd. So while the Swifties are excited that Taylor Swift will be coming out with a new album, Drake fans might have been a little unsettled since Iceman apparently, allegedly, has been delayed due to Taylor Swift's album. Now, that has not been confirmed. Drake has never given us a release date for Iceman. So you can take that with a grain of salt. It's just what has been rumored around on social media. So I wanted to bring it to have some attention. But former NFL quarterback Johnny Manziel said that the project is most likely going to come out the end of October, early November. You know that Drake has a birthday towards the end of October. So we'll just see what happens. But as of now, there has not been a release date for Iceman. So I have to talk about a new release from Tyler, the Creator, the Darling I video. That song was one of my favorites from Chromacopia. So it stars Lauren London, Nia Long, Will Smith, Ayo Debris, and Tizo Touchdown, who is featured on the track. It's a really fun, flirty track, and I absolutely love this music video just for the creative direction. Not only just the stars, but obviously that's going to be talked about. But I just think that Tyler, the Creator, is definitely what's in the name. He is a creator. And I think this is a really fun video. Okay, this week's first lesson. So I got to run back two projects that released earlier in the month, which was JID's God Does Like Ugly and Gunna's The Last One. So I wanted to talk about some of my favorite tracks from these two albums and if I think it's worth the listen. So my favorite tracks from JID's God Does Like Ugly was VCRs with Ben Staples. I listened to this while I was in the gym, the whole album while I was in the gym. And I was like, oh my God, I think this is Vince. And I try not to look at the track titles or who the feature is. I try to guess it sometimes, especially when I'm in the gym and working out. Like I can't really, multitask in that way because at the time I was running. So I didn't want to look down on my phone, but I had to. I tapped my phone and I saw that was Vince Staples as the feature. Absolutely love that song. I'm a big fan of Vince. So that was super fun to see him on that track. And I think he did a really great job with his verse on there. Another one I really liked was No Boo with Jessie Reyez. I am a fan of hers, but I couldn't think about who that was. I was like, oh my God, this person has such a beautiful, beautiful voice. I need to know who she is, right? So that's another one I paused kind of what I was doing, tapped my phone to see who the featured artist was on there. Loved that. So No Boo was one of my favorites as well. Then obviously was Community with Clips. Killed it. That is a perfect song to work out in. And that's definitely something that I want to share with you guys because I'm updating my workout playlist. It's not perfect right now, but I want to update it with new songs, especially with this section of the show, because I just keep listening to new music and I just want to make sure that I'm putting you guys on, but more so that I'm remembering to actually add this to the playlist. So that was another one I really loved. And a bonus track I will say for this segment, I will say Work, and it's spelled WRK. And that was one of my favorites from this album. But honestly, albums for me, this rating would be a 9 out of 10. And I think that anyone who hasn't listened to this, you're definitely missing out. So I would 100% check that as a great first listen. Now I'm gonna go on to Gunna. I am a fan of Gunna, and I will say that upon first listening to this album, I was like, I don't know if there's too many standout tracks. It was kind of hard to figure out what my favorite tracks would be from this. But Like I said, I've been listening to these while I'm at the gym. So if I'm gonna be committed to something, I'm just gonna commit. So I pressed play on this. I was like, okay, let's just keep going. So I got all the way down to At My Purest, which features Offset. And that was the only song I'm like, okay, yeah, I see it. I see it. And I think that for me, whether there wasn't that much like versatility in this album, but once I got to that song, I was like, okay, I'm glad I didn't give up, because the rest of the songs I really, really enjoyed. So I would say Forever Be Mine featuring Wizkid. I loved that one as well as Satisfaction by Asake. So those are my three favorite from the last one. You guys have to let me know what were your three favorites. Like I said, I will say it's worth listening to. If I had to give it a rating, I would say it's an 8, maybe a 7.5. Like it's a solid, it's an okay album. But I just didn't like the fact that I have to wait so long for me to actually be interested in it. And if I was just listening to it just to listen to it, I probably would have stopped, just because the beats were just too far familiar to me, and it got me kind of bored until I got to the Offset track. So you can take what I say as a grain of salt, but I will say those are my three favorite. Those are at very least worth listening to. So take that as you may. Okay, so this is one of my favorite segments. It's New Music Friday. So there has been so much going on in the music industry. I feel like everyone's dropping an album right now. Not mad at it though. So I want to talk about Kamari's To Dry a Tear. I cannot wait for this album. That's going to be out on Friday, as well as Offset's Kiari. And that's obviously his birth name, and it's named after. I'm interested to see what this album really is going to contain, because obviously we do have a little taste of what the project is going to be like since he released that one song with JID, Bodies, which I enjoyed. It definitely was on my gym playlist as well, so that was worth a listen. So I'm interested to see what else this project is going to be. Definitely will be probably part of my first lessons for next week. Then Tiana Taylor is back with the Skate Room. She had some very romantic imagery with Aaron Pierre. That's Mufasa. So super excited about that one. And of course, Mara the Scientist, Heart Sold Separately. And she's someone who I've always been like up and down about, but I feel like she's pulled out some really great tracks this year, and I really do feel like love is a topic that she's really good at expressing. Her interviews so far have been enjoyable. Don't agree with everything she's been saying, but I do think that this project will be worth the listen, and I'm super excited to hear that as well. As always, if there is anything that you guys want me to listen to, review, please let me know. You can contact me at beyondtherecordpod@gmail.com, or just hit me up on social media at Beyond the Record Podcast.